Welcome back to another episode of The Vendors Table. I'm MC Midday. Today we are joined by the wonderful married couple, Aisha and Leslie.
Woo! Hi. Hey, guys.
Hashtag Lesaish. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah,
Man.
good. Thank you.
Thank you for having us on, man.
No, thank you for coming. Pleasure having you guys here. So you guys are recently married. What was that like? What was the wedding like?
Lit.
Yeah.
Lit. when it finally came, it was a really good experience.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself.
When it finally came?
Yeah, like prior to
Planning.
once the
Okay.
planning was done and executed, at the
Okay,
execution stage, it was
Okay,
really
fine.
good.
I thought
yeah.
you one of the COVID delayed couples.
We weren't COVID delayed, but we were affected by COVID.
Really?
Yeah,
No
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Good point, good point.
Yeah, because we got engaged during the lockdown.
Okay, fine.
yeah.
So,
So
did you hold off on deciding when you was going to get married because of COVID, or did you just
Well,
pick a date and be like,
No,
we
some
should be out of the
people
woods
just
by
wanted to
then?
get married straight
I just want to get married. I just knew I want to get married. All right, you're gonna put a ring on it. And go get married.
Nobody was holding off.
I'm even done.
Boris Johnson or whatever.
Boris or Rishi or whatever your name is.
Whichever one of you guys.
So nothing
I'm
was
getting
held
married.
off,
I'm gonna get
but-
married.
but
And I'm
things
gonna wear
were,
gilly.
What are you saying? Things were delayed.
It was things were delayed.
Planning,
There was
okay.
uncertainty.
Planning
Yeah,
was
there was a bit of
delayed, yeah.
confusion because we got 2020. Yeah, that's when we got engaged.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was when it started.
Yeah, that's when it started. But we
That's
just
when it
knew that at some point we're having a wedding,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
I was personally, as a bride, I was willing to wait as long as possible
To have it how you
to
wanted
have
it.
yeah, how I wanted. So I was
Agreed.
okay with that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah. How you guys ended up doing it, you should never have done
I
it.
know,
during
right?
COVID.
I know, right? You know.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right, cool. We're gonna start with a game.
Yeah.
The game is Guess the Vendor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you thought you were playing a wedding trivia.
Oh
You
man,
thought you were
this is
doing
different.
something
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Okay, so these are the rules. There's three vendors. So I'll give you a clue, and each of you have one guess per clue to work out which vendor it is.
Can we do disclaimers?
No,
Oh, God.
Oh god.
there's only the clue
All right,
and the
cool.
guess.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
cool.
You're against each other.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's
even more
competition.
interesting. Yeah.
And you're only allowed one guess per clue.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Every answer is worth 5 points at the start, and for
Cool.
every additional clue I give you, it's one less point.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. And it's vendors, but it also might be like something wedding on the wedding day.
Cool.
Okay.
So like think outside the box. That's the only
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
Don't
do it,
worry.
do it.
Okay.
Let's do
Don't
it.
give us too much.
All
Let's go.
first
Oh, wow.
clue for the first vendor. I am closely used with catering.
Decorator.
Incorrect. What you got for us, Leslie? I'm gonna need to press you for an answer, my brother.
I know. I'm trying to think.
5, 4, 3.
The corkage sort of people, then?
Ooh, good guess, but no.
Venue.
No.
I said one guess.
I know.
per
Just
clue.
I just want to know.
man,
I just want to know
one.
the answer. Sorry. What's the
Don't worry, we'll get around to the end.
All right,
But
cool.
now,
Wow,
next
okay,
clue.
cool.
Next
Cool.
clue. Question's worth 4 points now.
Cool.
I need to be hired in.
Is this a leading question or
No, that's a clue.
you need to be hired in?
Mm-hmm. I need to be hired in, and I work closely with, and I use closely with catering.
Oh, it's still the part
Still the
of the first
same-
one as
still the
well.
same
What?
thing.
Oh, that's so
All right,
unfair.
cool. I need to
I'm
be
making
hired
it easier
in.
for you. Yeah,
I need to be hired in.
Mhm.
Decorators.
incorrect. Did you
Oh
not
my
say
God,
decorators?
I know. I was just hoping.
I know she's going to be saying she's a bride.
I know, right?
We'll leave that one
Damn. It has been a little while.
I'm even trying to think.
It's been a little while, all right? Give me a break.
I need to be hired in.
What do you hire in?
You hired in. Oh, nah. It's hard, man. It's hard.
Wedding
It's hard.
planner?
No.
Nah, I don't even. Anyway.
Hired in.
5, 4,
Tablecloths or
Three.
something.
2,
In a particular venue.
1.
I don't know.
I'm not even going to take that as a
Alright, cool.
guess. That was horrible.
Yeah, cool.
We'll pass. Well, so
Wow.
third clue now.
Leave it.
Question's
Yeah,
worth
cool.
3 points. I'm used during the wedding breakfast.
Oh, this
This
is not
one
fair
is
though, because
easy.
we didn't.
I'm giving it to you now, guys.
No, you're not.
No, because
bro.
we didn't really
First
do
of
this.
all,
Yeah,
not even ever have a wedding
yeah,
breakfast.
which we didn't.
So
Okay,
let's not.
fine.
Let's not.
Okay,
even
but
say
even
that.
okay.
Let's not even say that.
Let me
everyone-
adjust it.
You know, not even say
I'm
that.
used.
Okay.
I'm
No,
used.
no. Let's just explain the thing. Some people don't even know what wedding breakfast is.
Exactly.
Very
Like,
true.
we're gonna have to
very true.
Google
Do
what
you know
wedding
what
breakfast.
But you know what it is.
That's what. We didn't know.
That's what
Whilst
But
we
you know
done-
now.
We knew
You
because
know
my
now.
cousin had a wedding
Yeah,
breakfast
after our
3
wedding.
months after. So when you're discussing wedding
Not
breakfast,
everybody. Some of us are
Okay.
bush, right?
Okay,
So-
okay.
It's not even bush.
Let me
Some
read.
of us
Let
are
me
bush.
reword that clue for you.
all right, cool.
I am used during eating of food.
Cutlery.
Yes,
Woohoo.
we got there.
Safe.
3 points
I
to
got 3
Aisha.
points.
All right, cool.
Wonderful. We got there in the end. Okay, so
I saw you said they're vendors.
I said,
Yeah.
but I also
You
said,
said they're
You did say
vendors.
that. I know. That's what made it a bit hard.
I said vendors.
Cutlery is a vendor.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's a-
but
it's a separate
he
item.
did say some things as well.
Yeah, I did say it
Yeah,
could be
he did
things.
say
I said
it.
think outside the
Cool,
box.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so
We-
now
Alright,
you're
yeah,
aware.
It's
We can
okay.
cheat, no.
Yeah, we'll let it.
We
We'll just
can
warm
cheat.
up.
We can cheat. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we're warming up. We're warming up.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, cool. Second vendor / item / piece of wedding
Thank you.
Cool.
memorabilia.
Thank you. I wish you said this.
I also need to be hired in. Additionally,
Tablecloths,
very close, but no.
charger plates.
I said one guess.
Sorry.
but-
Charger plates.
It is still wrong.
Take that one.
Clue 2. Questions worth 4 points now. I can be uncovered, but I'm very rarely left uncovered.
Food.
No.
Cake.
No.
Ah,
Incorrect.
these questions are hard, man.
Nah,
They're
these are
hard
these are
still.
these are.
These are hard.
I'm giving it
Hard,
to you now.
You know what? I think it's if you've like recently got married or are about to get married, these questions would be easy.
Possibly,
hard.
but hold on.
Okay, cool.
We get it. So third
Alright.
clue now. It's worth 3 points. Okay. I accommodate all the guests.
Venue.
No.
Too fast.
Damn.
Yeah, let the boy speak.
Damn.
Leslie, what you got?
Oh, that's what you said. I thought that wasn't the end of your sentence.
That was.
All right, cool. You accommodate all the.
Yeah, I accommodate all the guests.
All the
I can be
guests.
left uncovered, but I'm rarely left uncovered. And I need to be hired in.
This is so bad, man. Really?
5,
All right.
4.
I don't know. Like
3.
a 360 cam.
Oh my God,
No.
Leslie, please. That was a terrible, terrible
That's
guess.
terrible.
Oh my god, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Okay, let me give you the fourth clue.
Alright.
The bride and groom will have their own one. The bride and groom will have their own. I need to be hired in additional. I accommodate all the guests. I can be left uncovered, but rarely left uncovered. What am I? Hey, you people.
No, but we had the common. This, I feel like when the conversation flows, you'll start
You know
to
what?
understand why we
I
didn't
think-
understand this.
I think you might burn that you didn't get this one because you've been like right there.
We get our own seat. We had our own seat on the stage.
Where else did you have with you on the stage?
I thought it was just one answer. I mean,
So are you going for seat? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A
She
sofa,
said
was
it.
a
She
sofa.
said it.
Sofa. Okay, sofa. Is incorrect.
Chairs.
Is incorrect.
Oh,
but
God.
getting very warm.
I don't know what
Very
else, man.
warm.
I've said decoration. I've said tablecloth. I've said chairs. I've said sofa. Like what else?
You're literally
Stage.
no. Okay, last clue. Last clue. Last clue. Last clue.
Just say no more.
Last clue.
But most people have a seat. The bride and groom get their own seat.
You said,
Last clue is I require chairs to be used.
Chair covers.
Stage.
No. Aye.
Why are you saying stage again?
I said it again.
Tables?
You said it.
Oh,
Tables.
tables.
Oh.
What?
You said tablecloth. You said chairs.
Oh my God. What? That is such a... Oh, please.
Nah, man.
No, we need to do this game again. We need to make it fair and
knows
square.
this game is-
Yeah, this game is unfair.
That was fair.
Unfair.
That was fair.
It's okay. We'll let you have it.
So you've got 3 points, and Leslie's still on 0.
Zero.
So you can pull it back for this last one.
How
This
did she
last
get 3
one,
points?
because she got that first one right. Cutlery.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Okay. So the last one now. First clue is I enhance the day visually.
Videography.
Oh,
Lighting.
correct.
Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Wonderful. 5. So you pulled it
Wow.
back and got the win.
Bro, I didn't pull it back. I got the win. Quickly.
Wonderful. Just swooped in.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was a
Sweet.
good
You see, man,
shout.
It's okay. It's okay.
It came through with that. All right, cool. Let's get into it.
Wait, who won?
Oh, you won.
Oh,
You
thank
got
you.
5.
Nah, I just wanted to. I
You
just wanted
got
to.
5.
Can we
You
not?
got 3.
There's no celebration for anyone
We
that
got, yeah, we got a round of Wait, did you think that you won?
Yeah.
where's
I
somebody-
think
that's
that
terrible.
worked. That
Oh, but I just wanted to be clear. When somebody wins,
worked.
they get.
Cool.
All right, cool, man.
Competitiveness is high.
I know, right?
sorry,
Yeah, you can
Wonderful.
Cool, man.
All right. So straight into it. You guys did it a bit differently. You guys had a destination wedding.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also had a I'm trying to find the correct adjective to describe the
Wow.
trad.
Traditional wedding.
A spectacular
Wow.
one
Thank God.
with a lot of guests. Talk to me about that. So you guys wanted to have the main event as the trad, or trad as the main event.
Mm.
Yeah. Did we want? Yes and no.
Okay.
You didn't know. Let me
We
get
didn't
yes.
know, yeah, because COVID pushed us to make a lot of decisions.
Okay, fine.
Mm.
And so then once everything lifted, we kind of had to run with it. But I do think, yeah, the
You didn't know. I did a yes. The yes part of it was like we found it. We come from quite big families,
Okay.
so we knew that there was a difficulty in order to do something very small and to still honor the people that we wanted to honor.
Okay, fine.
And what we mean by that more even specifically is like, they are aunties and uncles that maybe we may have not necessarily spoken to in more recent years, but that have held us in high regard and that have held us.
the big
from
mummies
a
and the big
young
daddies,
Yeah. I had some impact in your life at
Yeah.
some
You know what I'm
point.
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you say that
Exactly.
very well. So
Mm.
we always knew that we wanted to be able to appreciate them and for them to be able to appreciate us as well. So it's a fluid thing.
Yeah, without taking any offense as
You
well.
get what I'm
And
saying?
like
Yeah.
feeling like, oh my God.
So by doing that, we also knew kind of like, okay, how are we going to make that happen in the most constructive way? And that's how we came to the decision of thinking, do you know what? It's traditional as to what they regard as to being the most important thing.
Yeah.
Let's give that
To them.
Yeah.
Mm.
and let's take it from there.
Yeah,
sort of thing, but
yeah,
continue.
yeah. And as well, because we had quite a few people flying in as well from different
Okay.
countries as well. It was like
From Germany, Ireland,
Africa,
Nigeria,
America, everywhere.
Uganda,
So it just felt...
yeah. International.
LA,
Personally, I felt like we can't just be
Seattle.
making people pay big money and they're just coming to just,
Okay.
It's true.
think
I hear
it's
that.
come
It's
something a
true.
bit...
So you had 1,000 people.
Yeah.
How was that? What was the original number when you were thinking? Okay, we're gonna have this trad. What was the original number?
Well, we wanted the big hall. So we did our wedding in Meridian Grand. The bigger hall in there seats up to 640 people. 640. 650, yeah. So 650 we knew we'd have seated
Okay,
at
fine.
least.
Okay.
But then you always have to kind of account for the extra guests, right? So we knew it would go over the 650. We just didn't know it would get to 1,000. That's just
Oh,
the
so that
only
wasn't
thing.
even.
That wasn't part of the plan. No,
Oh, wow.
No, the plan actually, I didn't even think we would really pass the 650 threshold, to be honest.
Because that's a lot of people.
Okay, I knew we'd pass it a little bit, but not like to 1,000. So
Yeah.
it wasn't until like one of our account manager, he came over to us and he was like, you've hit, like, we've literally now have to start locking people out of the events. Yeah, so they locked the doors at a certain point at the event. Yeah.
So at 8 p.m, the manager of the venue that we booked at the time came to us upstairs and said, Okay, guys, Aisha Leslie, just want to let you know we have 850 people downstairs and it's 8 p.m. right now.
No, but you go back in time as well. At 4 p.m., all the seats were filled as well, which is what we didn't account for. Yeah, we didn't account for that as well. Because we thought we'd have like 300 and something people, the mummies and daddies for the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then they would go, and then like it would be like the shubs after. The young people come through, you know.
Shubs.
The shubs.
I hadn't heard that word in years.
The shubs.
So that's what that was the original plan. But like I think people hadn't been out in a minute. So
Yeah, they were ready to turn up.
we hadn't even been out in a minute. So
You ain't been out in a
I haven't
minute.
been out in a minute. So yeah, literally people came early, they stayed, and then
Yeah.
more people came on top of the people that did stay. So yeah, it was lit.
So you said at 8:00 they came to you.
Yeah,
and
he
said,
came to us in a room similar to this is where like the bride and groom were upstairs and he is kind of a manager, but he's head of security and everything. So he let us know that we've hit 850 mark and it's 8 p.m. What do you want to do? And it was a bit of a difficult conversation because it's kind of
we don't
like,
want
can you
to
really
go
do?
back.
what do you mean? What
Yeah, like
I don't know what
the
we
come
wanna
after
do.
8 crew haven't even come
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
so
it was a difficult one, but yeah, I guess we just kind of just flowed on. We just
flowed on.
sometimes you just have to let people know, like, nah, all is well. Don't worry. No one's coming. It's fine.
no one asked me, what do you want to do though?
I think he asked me that
being
from the
relayed,
perspective,
yeah.
from a security perspective, it's kind
Okay,
of like,
fine.
are the people that are in here the people that
that
you
you
want
need
to
to
be
be
in
in.
here?
Okay,
you know?
fine. Okay.
And it was just giving him that assurance that, yeah, it's all good. Man.
Okay, fine. So having done it that way, now looking back, would you have done anything differently for the third part?
Nah,
Never, man.
Yeah?
that's the
Never.
best day ever.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah, no,
it
I was
looked
lit, man.
vibes.
Sorry. Yeah, it was too good. It actually exceeded my expectations.
Really?
Completely, yeah.
Okay.
Completely. It was really, really good.
It was the best day of my life.
Yeah?
Like,
Yeah,
hands
I
down,
agree. Yeah.
best day of my
Wonderful.
life.
Better than the destination wedding.
100. But I
Yeah.
mean, Destination was a very special experience.
It's special.
Very, very special. So that
Yeah.
was beautiful. It had its own beauty. But
Yeah.
in terms of like, as for what we wanted a wedding to be, that was everything.
was it, yeah?
Yeah.
Best day of my life.
Okay, so we're looking at just the trad, 1,000 people, Meridian Grand. Okay, obviously, so you planned for 650. What was your total spend versus what you thought you would spend when you said, okay, this is what we want, and then obviously getting all the quotes in, having
For Meridian Graham specifically, or for everything?
for that, just that trad part.
For the trad part.
So total spend. So I'll start with what we budgeted. We budgeted nothing. Like,
Really?
yeah, it was just vibes. It was
What
honestly,
do you mean that we didn't budget?
there was no budget. I don't think we ever sat down to say, okay,
This
this
is
is
the
how
max.
much I have. This is what I'm going to
Okay,
do. Because
fine.
as well, I
Which is not financial advice.
it's not financial advice. The reason why I think we were able to think that way, it was a very good year for us. So like,
fine.
everything was things that you would sort as an African child. It was already sorted.
Okay,
so
okay.
you don't have to worry about like where we're going to live
We
after.
still
Like
got-
that was
okay.
already kind of patterned in. So yeah.
Nice,
Once,
nice.
but then I think so then that anyway, the actual budget ended up being 60 for Meridian.
Yeah.
I think on a basic level, if we just look at like all the basics, and then of course there's like extra things that we didn't account for.
Okay,
but
fine.
yeah, that was the budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
What cost shocked you the most for that one?
I think you have to ask us separately.
Yeah.
What cost shocked me?
Let me jump in there whilst you think. I think for a male, and this is just anyone, you know what I'm trying to say, for a man that's dating, for a man that's in a relationship, for a man that's married, I think sometimes it's, if you don't know, you don't know, right? Like if you've never asked your missus or the person you're dating, like, yo, babes, how much is that makeup you done? How much is the nails and you guys are saying you'll never know. Like, I remember just before we went to Greece, me and Aisha went to the nails spot together. And she done her thing over there, and she wanted me to do, like, oh yeah, cool. And he was kind of like, what did he say? Something like 100 or so. I said,
Jesus,
huh?
the blood of Jesus.
I said, what?
For
For nails. I said, I could have done this by myself.
Wait, for whose nails? Your nails?
I said,
Yeah, mine.
both,
Okay.
but
Yeah, but
what
you
else
had like a little
behind?
baby
That's what I'm
something,
trying to say.
yeah,
I'm like,
He came to get like something.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the context of what I'm trying to say is that I think the things as a whole that probably shocked me the most is probably a lot of the costs that women incur.
Okay, beauty costs.
And that's what I'm saying. Even if it's from a dating perspective, if you're going to go, see your babes, and the costs that are incurred as it pertains to, I only know this now, right? The wig, the makeup,
the individuals,
nails, the lashes is different to the eyebrows. There's different things. So
You sound
for
like
me,
you've been given the lowdown.
so for me
it now.
personally, as it pertains to wedding gave me the insight to women because I didn't know
fine.
before. You get it?
Okay.
So I think for me, from a wedding perspective, knowing that a man's, let's say for example, if we're to put in the category of like beauty, for example, what my barber cost was in comparison to her cost as a whole was very different to what I expected, and that was probably the biggest thing that was a shock for me.
Okay, fine.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Aisha?
I think food.
Okay.
I know I knew it would be expensive, but I didn't know it would be that
As
expensive.
expensive as it
Yeah.
was.
Food, like literally, and especially where we're two cultures,
Yeah.
we felt it a lot
Fine.
more because you
So
have
did
to
you
get
did you get in like Nigerian? And
yeah,
Ugandan?
Different,
So we had
yeah.
to
And
have
I've heard
Nigerian
Ugandan food is
cuisine,
expensive.
Ugandan,
Ah.
yeah. So
Yeah?
it was expensive.
It was
It was
expensive,
very
yeah.
expensive. Fortunately, we had support from our families to some degree, but
Okay.
even with that, it was still you felt
Because you're effectively paying. They'll give you like a per head price. But you're effectively paying 2 per head prices.
yeah, but we didn't. It wasn't because we did buffets.
Okay.
I let my mom kind of do the logistics. To be fair, but I just remembered the price.
It must
and
be
I
nice.
was like, I let my mom deal with that. But yeah,
like, as we were just saying, in terms of like the two cultures and stuff, maybe speak on that in terms of like food wise, doubling up and everything.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just like trying to, because you're gonna have to cater for the big mummies on the Ugandan, big mummies and big daddies on that side, and then the big mummies and big daddies on the Nigerian side as well. And it's making sure that there's enough food to go around for everyone as well, because even though we're providing Ugandan food and providing Nigerian food, what actually happened on the day of our wedding is that you had the Ugandans going to the Nigerian side and maybe some Nigerians going over to the Ugandan side. And so where you might have budgeted for 300 on this side and for it, you had to make sure you had more, basically.
Fine. Okay.
So yeah, it was a vibe for the guests.
Yeah.
They could explore, but
We're not inclusion anyway. We didn't want to.
D&I, you know.
Yeah. You're Nigerian. You go eat some Ugandan food again.
I heard that. I had to show with
But also, in terms of like, not every caterer is able to be a part of every venue as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, venue restrictions
So
on-
that didn't really come into cost. So yes, the reason why we felt it more is because yes, we have loads of caterers and there's loads of people that might have fit our budget, but because of the venue that we picked, it meant that
You had a
because
certain list of suppliers to choose
certain
from.
lists.
Exactly.
Fortunately, there wasn't a PSL, but
What is PSL?
preferred supply list. But it just meant that
But what was there? What was there?
Was it
public
recommended?
liability. Yeah, that's what
There you
I'm
go.
getting.
Bro, Sean, I wanted to get the value. You're saying these words like everyone knows what
I
you're
need the
talking about. You know what I'm
details.
saying?
Let's break it
You
down.
guys know what PSLs. We don't know. Not everybody knows.
So, okay, so there wasn't a PSL, but what it meant was that the public liability was quite high. So that
Fine.
X'd out like
How much was it?
Really?
like 10. It said that insurance has to be like 10 million
For the
something. Yeah,
insurance.
for the
Okay,
insurance.
fine.
I don't know what that means, but it just
Yeah.
said that. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So yeah, that X'd out half of our.
Really?
I think it affected more the Ugandan side than the Nigerian side. To
Yeah,
be
I
fair.
think so. I think so because as it pertains to being in the UK, there is evidently, okay, not evidently, for those that know, there's going to be less Ugandans in the UK than there are Nigerians. So from that, for the Ugandans that we have in the UK, there's going to be less restaurants, right?
Fine.
So let's say, for example, we have this that are
Yeah,
Ugandans,
let's say there's only
a
10
handful.
already. There's only 10 in the UK. Let's just say
And in
that.
that,
10.
Really worked
they
out.
need 10 million. You're saying,
You're gonna get like
you're
one or
literally looking
two.
at saying,
Damn.
wow. You got what you're saying?
And because they already know their audience is not
You
that
know what I'm
massive.
saying?
So they-
The audience-
okay, I hear it. I hear it.
So where you Nigerians have Enish and these things already, you lot have the pattern is already there. You got what I'm saying? So
I hear that.
it's a lot harder. So that was a difficulty, but fortunately, you get me, we were able to still But these are some of the struggles, as you said, that, you know, or hurdles, should we say, that had to kind of be overcome.
Okay, talking about hurdles, what were the hurdles that you guys had during the process on work for you?
I wouldn't necessarily say hurdles, but I think the pain points for me were, I think it's just the unprofessionalism with a lot of the vendors. That I would describe as a hurdle, because where you'd kind of like want a response within like 3 days or 1 day, or like literally some people waiting months. Some people I'm literally chasing. I could have engaged with somebody in September and might not get an answer until like January. And that literally was my story as well.
Really?
And I'm sure there's so many other people that are going through this or have gone through this and just...
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So those were the hurdles. It was just overcoming the unprofessionalism in the industry.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So how what things were important to you when it came to like selecting vendors?
I would say the energy, which is, it sounds weird.
No,
but
I hear it.
I think the energy for me was very, very important, because you're right. Like, this is my big day, right? So I don't want someone that's like, okay, I'm going to be there 9 o'clock and just like straight business. Okay, I get that. You have a business, you need to make money. Cool, it's cute. But someone that's actually just going to make me feel good, get me excited before I go out and like, you know, see my family and whatever. That for me, that was really, really important.
I hear it.
And then again, on top of that as well, the customer service as well. So if I was getting those two things, then great. That was the thing that would make me go. Anyone that was taking long to respond, I'd be like, if you're being rubbish now, then God knows what you'll be doing on the day of the wedding when the money has been
I think
chopped.
to speak on that in terms of like, you had so much rubbish, but there was a vendor that spoke to you and asked you a particular question.
Yeah.
So I think it would be your value to speak. Like,
Okay, so this is more for the white wedding than for the trad. So we might have to tap in and out, because there's certain things that we do for our wedding.
the process.
Yeah, so for me, like my selection process for makeup in particular, I remember I was just really, really stressed, like trying to find a new, because I already sorted out my hair and makeup from the year before, but I thought, let me just change. I'm just going to go with a different vendor. And this was like a few weeks before the wedding.
Oh, man.
So I was a bit stressed with that. And I was just reaching out to loads of different like makeup artists, and like some of them, their vibe was just a bit like, yeah, not available. Okay, cool, sorry. Even if you're not, or even if you don't want to take me on as a client, I think it's still good to just care. Yeah, I think that's the word. The key word is caring.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of people didn't care. Because it's just another wedding, right? Whereas like on our side, it's my one day. I only get one shot. You're going to do this maybe 30 times in the year.
So
I only get to do this
what
once
did the
in
person
life.
say to you?
Anyway, I decided to DM one of the makeup artists that the one that I actually went for in the end. She has a personal page and then she has a business page. So I DM'd the business page, but I thought, let me just DM her personal page as well and just kind of speed up the process, because I didn't have that much time. Messaged her, and then I think because I was so stressed, this just meant so much to me. But she was literally like, oh, hey, hon, are you okay? Like, how are, I think I said, oh, I booked you. I hope you're available. She was like, yeah, sure, go through my PA, cool, whatever. But then she just followed up and she was like, but all in all, are you okay? Are you good?
Wow.
I was like, wow, like, someone that actually
taking a minute for me,
someone that actually cares. And for me, that was a very big deal. So even though her prices were, they're mad, but it was worth it. Like, I don't mind that. It's justified if that is the kind of experience you're going to provide for me as a bride.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it was for the people that cared, the people that just good energy, good customer service. Those are the people that I knew would be reliable. And I would say most of our vendors that we went through with in the end, they did their thing.
I think, that caring point you mentioned is obviously important, because, like you said, for some vendors it might be, it's just another wedding, but actually for you guys getting married, you only do this once.
You only do it once.
And it's your big day.
And you dream about it.
Yeah, and having somebody, feeling like somebody actually cares about your day, maybe not as much as you, because I don't think anybody can do, but feeling like they actually care about it and actually want to contribute to the success of it, just gives you a little...
it's like, it makes you excited. It's like, you know what, that 300, let me even top up with an extra 100,
exactly,
because we're going to get blessed. If
you budgeted 300 and that, they're 100 above it.
It was so good. You know what, God bless you.
We can meet you there.
Let me get my husband's card.
Thank God.
Leslie,
Thank God.
I need to bless someone quick.
Thank God.
That is hilarious.
We thank God.
Yeah. No, but all in all, though, that it was just important for them to
Wow.
care, and
I
I
hear
feel
you.
like most of our vendors, especially for our white wedding as well, they cared.
I think that's really important.
They're really good.
So let's touch on the white wedding. So it was in Greece. Yeah. 50 people. How what were we talking about? So again, same question in terms of price. What was the final budget versus what you guys originally planned for it? And how did they compare?
Once again, no budget.
Okay.
All vibes. And then, but we knew it would be a lot less than the trads because it's
of the
literally
numbers,
50,
innit?
50 people.
Yeah.
So in the end, I think it was like probably about 15.
Really?
Yeah. 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 When all in
That's
all,
dope.
yeah.
Did you guys do something the day before?
Yeah, welcome party.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
we had a welcome party, and that was
Yeah.
really good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you have a welcome party?
I just saw someone else do it, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. I want to do it. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, us brides, we just
Fair
be looking
enough.
at what everybody else is
Yeah,
doing,
I
and
hear
then just
that.
take what you think you like, right?
Yeah.
But it does make sense as well. We're bringing two different groups of people together. It's good for them to kind of at least be familiar with each other's faces before the big day, where it's such an intimate, event.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it just gave them the opportunity to be like, hi, bye. But we in a way we were kind of blessed because the pandemic affected us in a way where everybody had to come out a lot more earlier than the wedding day because the flights were limited.
Oh, fine.
So by the wedding day, everyone pretty much, we were like one big
Best friends,
family. Yeah,
okay,
it was really, it was lit. It was really, really
Nice,
good.
nice.
It was nice. It was a big family holiday. Essentially.
The reason why I asked that is because I don't know, this isn't even a vendor perspective, this is a personal one. But I always feel like if you're asking people to fly out for you, you can't just do the one wedding day and then everybody goes home. You kind of got to have something more for them to feel like, okay, this is an experience kind of thing.
Okay.
Oh, we never saw it like that.
We ain't never thought about that.
Yeah, because our friend, yeah,
We've never thought about that, bro.
Let's to be fair, I think why we didn't need to think that way.
Yeah.
We've been together for so long, so
Okay,
it's like our
fine.
lives have kind of already crossed
Okay,
over by
fine.
that point. So
True.
everyone kind of already knows each other.
Okay,
But
cool.
not even only that, in terms of like the process as it pertains to like even the bride and groom, bridesmaids. and
Groomsmen, yeah, we put a lot of work into them knowing each other
we
before.
were doing things prior, like,
Lots of like
we were
little
trying to
things.
ensure that everyone was served accordingly. And yeah, after, I think that was all.
Yeah.
Dope.
But sorry, as it pertains to like not having a budget, I think that's something that's very important to kind of speak on, just because I don't know why we didn't have a budget. We should have had a
We
budget
should have.
potentially.
But we're so far gone
And
with
it's
the planning.
definitely something that people speak on, and even you asking a question in terms of what was the budget. Yeah, we actually didn't have a budget. So it is interesting kind of identify kind of, what you think, but not because the reason I'm saying this, because not everyone has a budget.
Yeah, true. And it's something I hear often. It's like, oh, there is no budget.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I hear that, sometimes I'm like, but surely there's like a number you don't want to spend beyond.
I mean, if the money's there, like some people just
That's
like
true.
enjoyment as well, though.
That's
So
true.
sometimes you just.
But sometimes don't, like, to argue your comment, don't you think sometimes there is an element of we know what we can manage? So we
To a
don't
degree.
necessarily need to have, we don't need like, let's say for example, the specific black and white as to what that number is. But we know, let's say for example, if we're to say cars, someone's going to buy a car. We're not going to Rolls Royce.
Yeah, we just
We're
respect
literally going to
ourselves.
car
Yeah.
giant. We're going to respect ourselves. We're going there. We're going to get at least
And we know how much
food
we've
or
got
whatever.
coming
You know what I'm
in.
trying to say? So you kind of,
Do you know
so
what?
you're
I
not
hear
going
you.
into it. You know how you're flinging it.
And what you can let go of temporarily.
Fair, you get me? Like, it's not necessarily, you kind of know where you're going in a sense.
I hear what you're saying, but let's use the car example.
Let's use the cars.
Can't relate.
Because weddings are very emotionally charged and emotionally driven in terms of when you're making your decisions. It's very easy to spend, even if there is a budget. And oftentimes, that's why I asked that question, because it's very, it's not very rare. It's often the case that people set a budget and exceed it.
100.
Because maybe that's partly down to actually you just don't know how much stuff costs until you get into
That's
it.
true. That's true.
So there's an element of that to it. However, once you get into it and you like dress, for example, if you see a dress and you fall in love with that dress and it's, let's say, like 500 or $1,000 over what you've budgeted for it, you will find a way to make that work.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So in the car scenario, if that decision was as emotionally driven or as emotionally charged, and you went to, let's say, a car giant where you've got the whole range visible to you, and you say, okay, I want to go in and I want to get like a Vauxhall Astra, for example. But actually, you look to the left and there's like a 3 Series or a Mercedes or whatever, and it's like, oh, maybe let me just go and have a look at it. And you sit in it and it feels good, and put the heated seats on. And suddenly your emotions are, and it's like, okay, actually, nah, I can suffer a bit. Let me find a way to make it work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And just to add on to what you're saying, I think that's completely understandable and fine. Why? Because I think you've gone to car giant. You understand? I think if you were to go to like the HROs and you were to see the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris, it's you're still, even the pure fact of you going to car giant has already said that in this circle we are going to do this. Okay, we went to Ford, but now we've ended up going to BMW. However, we're still in this vicinity. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you may have an argument about Ford to BMW, but you're going to crash.
But you may also
from
get
BMW to
100k Range Rover.
No.
In car giant as well.
That's true. That's true.
I was just using an example like
that's
close,
true.
but you could still get the full
true.
range.
You could get the range, yeah. But cool. There's like 500 Fords in comparison to like 3 Range Rovers that's 100k, because car giant know the market that they're going towards. You know what I'm trying to say?
I hear that.
You go to somewhere else and Range Rover is the cheapest one. You know what I'm trying to say? So I guess the context to what I'm saying is like, in the pure conversations, maybe from even dating stage, you kind of start to understand.
Fine.
Okay, you're working this job, you're entrepreneur in this. Yeah, we kind of know. You get me? Like
what we can do.
What we can do. We're not saying that someone needs to go and do you kind of figure it out, and I think that's where the lack of sometimes a budget comes from, because in the pure essence of what you're doing from a day-to-day perspective, where someone else is going to Greg's for breakfast, whereby somebody else is going to, I don't know, maybe prep.
But I think it's important to add that we were fortunate as well to be kind of a pandemic couple, which meant that we weren't going
out.
We're not going nowhere. We're making as much money as we can.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Spend it as much as you want now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we were kind of fortunate in that sense.
That was a nice addition.
Yeah. Just to add, because you said we could talk on everything.
Yeah, no, that made
the
a
reality
difference.
of the
That made a
situation,
difference as
though.
well.
So it's like now everything is opened up. Of course,
Exactly.
We would definitely have a budget if it was now.
Well, is that something you do differently if you was going to do it now? Yeah,
possibly. I think so, because it's like we're going now, family, social events. We have a child now as well, so it would be like,
congratulations.
Thank you. So just like factoring all of those little things, we would definitely budget. I think it was fine. I think I would anyway.
I think a budget myself, I think a budget comes from a certain thought process or a behavior. You know, that
let's not get he's finance, so like we can wrap this bit because he will talk all day about this. So let's just
it's hilarious.
Just to remind you.
Let's do we've kind of just scrape the surface on those issues, but let's do. So obviously we know that the wedding is about more than just a day. It's about a marriage and entering a union. What are some of the things that you guys have made common practice in your household since marriage?
Oh wow. Common practice. I know this sounds quite cliche, and it might be a bit personal, so let me know if you want to cut this out. But I do, when we argue or don't see eye to eye, we kind of make sure it's settled before, like, we're going to the next day. Usually, that's like a common practice, I would say. It doesn't happen often, but when it does,
I think it's mentioned a lot, but actually the practice of it, it's tough.
Yeah. I
It's
know.
tough.
There's some petty people in this world.
And you say, and obviously you
Try
say
not to be that
it,
petty.
you come to that
Yeah.
agreement when you're in a good place.
True.
So it's like it's kind of easy to, but actually when you're in the thick of it and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You're right.
it's sticky. But actually, it's if you're able to actually act on it and practice it, it's actually amazing. It makes such a difference because waking up the next morning feeling a way about something that happened the next day,
Exactly. It's a bit mad, isn't it?
It's long, yeah.
especially married at home. Cool. Is that it? Anything else? Anything else you want to check in there?
Les, you can add. I answered.
I think you hit a nail on the head, man.
Yeah, that's the main one. Yeah.
I think you hit a nail on the head well.
All right. What advice would you give to couples that are sort of entering the planning stages? Did you have a planner for any of these, or you did it yourselves? Yeah.
Yeah, we did it ourselves.
Okay. Cool.
We had a
Did you have-
coordinator though.
Coordinator,
for
yeah.
both. Yeah.
Okay. For the destination one, did you have a coordinator from here or from there?
For the coordinator out, not coordinator, but we worked closely with the venue,
Okay.
and then we had a coordinator from here who was also part of the
fine,
party. Yeah.
So advice to couples planning their wedding.
Advice couples planning their wedding. I'm not too sure. I think it's going to depend on how old they are and what stage of life they're at as well. The reason why I say that is because I think for the most part, people come outside of weddings, depending on where they are and the stage of life they're at, they're very quick to give advice and they're very quick to say, if the wedding is very big, they say, oh my God, don't make it so big, right? It's just one day, it's this and that. And then if it's like, depending on the stage that the person that's giving advice is in at that time, if they're good, they're going to say, yo, do it. And if things are a bit, you get me, financial crisis and that, they're gonna probably say, no, don't worry, chill, be cautious, you know. So my advice is to be able to identify where they're at first and foremost. Identify where you're at, regardless of all the advice that's being given. Identify you and your partner are at, and then be able to effectively kind of build from that stage, you know. Don't worry about what your friends on, even though your friend, your aunties and uncles, or the person you were best man for last year, or your groomsmen, or what society is doing. Kind of knowing where you're at that particular stage and what your wants are, because people are gonna say, "Oh my God, you need to get the house, or oh, you need to get this." Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So for
you
me,
might not want to live here, so
you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So
Are you buying a house here? You don't even live in. You want to live in Dubai. You want to live in Dubai?
What are we saying? Is that
Property.
everyone's
Is that an exclusive? Yeah. Is that an exclusive? Yeah.
It's not. No, it's not.
We're just saying.
I'm saying. So yeah,
I hear
my
you, I
thing,
hear
just to
you.
wrap up my thing, is kind of like, please, in order for the couple to be able to identify where they're at and then to build from that, I think is always going to be an important stage.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's a big gem still.
Big gem.
Yeah, it's a big gem.
That one needs payment.
I'm
joking.
My piece of advice is kind of two. I feel like it's okay to be audacious when it comes to vendors. Like when you're engaging and asking questions and even like talking about cost. It's actually okay to like push back. It's okay as well to change your mind as well, you know. You could have booked someone a year ago, 6 months ago. It even happened to us. We're like, do you want to talk about it? Not really.
I saw you.
Well, the week before, we changed our mind on our coordinator, and we said no, we're getting a new one.
Really?
And that was something that was already in the making, probably the year before. But we got to the week before the event, and we're like, nah, it's okay. It's actually okay to change your mind as well.
Yeah, I think I'll just add on to that one.
Yeah.
If people are going to change later in the process, just make sure you've read what the terms and conditions are
Yeah,
from
the
that,
T's and
because
C's.
some are refundable, some are non-refundable for
Yeah,
deposits.
yeah,
But yeah, some are, and this also kind of goes back to when I was saying about like the hurdles trying to be faced with vendors and stuff. There's a lot of unprofessionalism as well. So people are very quick to be like, I'm not giving you your money back, but they can't even provide basic customer service. So people or vendors want to pick and choose when they want to be professional and when they don't want to be professional. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I say it's actually okay to be audacious right now. It's kind of like the Hunger Games out here, to be honest. So do what you want, really.
We want professionalism.
We want as much
do.
professionalism as possible, and we are professional. We were quite. I would say we were quite professional. In what we were looking for, how we engage with people. But yeah, it's okay.
And to add that, just so there's context in terms of, it's okay to do that in the context of the contract that they've provided.
Yes,
So
that's
they've
what it
said that we're going to do X.
Y and Z. And if they're not delivering on that, I'm not enabling bad behavior.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that if you feel like you're not getting the service that you were told you were going to receive, it is okay to change your mind. Yeah, so let me.
And if that requires a payment in order for you to do so, make the payment. Now, be as honourable as a person as you can be very
to the
honourable.
very end. Because the last thing you want, as much as yes, it's your big day and you want it to be perfect.
Don't just
and
cancel someone.
groomzilla, bridezilla.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's still your brand and your name, really. There's still life after the wedding.
So
as
if the
well.
vendor tells you have to pay full amount to cancel them,
Then pay the full amount.
And
God bless
cancel them.
and be going. If you've got the money, do you know what I mean? Some people don't necessarily, but you can kind of wiggle your way out of that as well, depending on the T's and C's, of the contract.
I hear that. Yeah, that's good to have that as well. Wonderful. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
That was we had some gems in there still. Don't worry, we'll get the payment fee. Thank you, man.
So I guess from my perspective, I think it'll be important for me to understand, like, what's your vision for this? Like, as it pertains to, like, how have you thought this through, and where do you see this? Like, what's your vision for this all?
Okay. So I've been sitting on it for a minute, to be fair. I just had the idea that I didn't feel like there was like a source of information about weddings or like how to get stuff done, or like everybody's coming into this doing it for the first time.
Yep.
And there's just not, I didn't feel like there was enough resource out there to like help people, steer them in the right direction, stop people making it. As an MC going to weddings, I've just seen things over and over, like common mistakes, or not mistakes, but stuff that if you knew, you would have done it differently. So it's like, how can I create something that allows people to learn a few things that, for example, one that I've heard pretty much every couple talk about is the notice that you have to give before you get married. Unless you're about to get married, you probably wouldn't know about that. Yeah. And people are finding out about it 1 week before the deadline. So it's like, if you know about that before, you can just sort of get that pattern quickly. So stuff like that was the main thing. And just to help people planning the wedding, like when people are inquiring, some people might just have questions, and it's like, for me, as I do weddings, that's like, oh yeah, of course, that's what you would do. But someone that doesn't know, it's like, how would you know? And another one was the cost one. It's like, if you want to think about setting a budget, how are you going to do that if you have no idea what anything costs?
True.
So yeah, that was the main thing, just to that, create like a little resource pool of information for upcoming brides and couples planning their wedding. And yeah, man, probably boost a bit of visibility for MC Media as well.
Promoting your business at the same time.
Alongside it,
We'll get something on the back of that. Yeah, there was a little bit of that as well, to be fair. It's like, as an MC, it's like, okay, I've got videos of me emceeing at a wedding, but actually there's different ways to showcase
who you are as a person.
who I am personally, and that sort of stuff. So,
and how dope you are.
Personal question, are you married?
I'm not married now.
Oh, okay. So you just learned literally just from being in the industry as well, which is good that you know about all of these issues before getting into it. Because
yeah, for sure.
Why are you going into the marriage thing?
No, because I feel like only you've known.
Oh, he's putting his market out.
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably doing that.
No, I'm not putting his market
why
out there.
he's
Get out.
available.
I thought that.
So we are saying that not only is it available for MC, he's also available. Available times 2.
No, the reason why I'm saying that is because we felt the pain because we were an engaged couple planning to get married. But I feel unless you're engaged, you're not going to know about all of these crazy things. Which is why I find it quite kind of interesting.
Okay.
And which is why I find similar to yourself amazing. And
I think it's
be
dope.
an amazing journey.
Appreciate it.
And more success and blessings to you. But you've explained as to why you did it. Last question before you finish up is in terms of where do you see things going? I think that will be as important as well. And it's probably a more intimate and open question and something that I think others will
appreciate
and also
follow the journey through.
Yeah, we'll be with you on that journey. It's kind of like, okay, so where are we going, bro?
Do you know what? When I started it, there wasn't like an idea of, okay, this is how big I want it to grow, or this is how I want to do it. The main thing for me, literally, when I started this thing was like, if I can help one couple make a better decision about planning their wedding, that's a win for me.
Wow.
So if I can help more, even better.
Wow.
But even when I get people coming up to me saying, oh, thank you so much for that episode, like the DJ one, for example, about sound limiters, and they're like,
yeah, oh my God, I feel like we just scratched the surface with anyway, sorry.
Go on.
No, you continue. I'll say it after.
Yeah, so someone was like, I didn't even think about it. My venue had a sound limit, and they went back and then I think maybe even they considered changing venue because of that. And it's like, raw, like you would have got to the wedding day now, music would have been quiet, you'd have been complete, like all that hassle was now just saved because of a 30-minute clip that you watched. So it's like, just even that small impact, that's enough for me, man. So whatever happens after is all a bonus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was you saying?
I was going to say, I didn't even know. I think I only discovered after our wedding once again that there was such a thing as wedding DJs. I didn't even know there was DJs specifically for weddings. I was like, what's the difference? I don't know what the difference is.
The difference is, like wedding DJs, obviously there's certain things that happen typically at a wedding that a wedding DJ would know how to handle that a normal DJ probably, they could handle it, but usually they'd probably be like, what's going on here? So like when a couple go and change, sometimes some guests will go and sit down. Dance floor might clear it out a little bit. A normal DJ will just be like, what the hell is going on? And they might start playing bangers to keep everybody on dance floor. A wedding DJ will be like, this happens, that's fine, you guys chill. I'm going to save the bangers when the couple come back because they need to hear it because it's their day. And then they save that. Everyone kind of sits down, builds up their energy, has a bit of food, whatever. Couple come back out, back up lit again.
Okay.
Or like me, for example, if I'm emceeing and I'm calling somebody up for a speech and they're a bit far away and they're walking up, a wedding DJ will automatically know, let me play a bit of background music. So it's not just silence. Whereas a normal DJ will just be like looking at me. Like,
oh God, that's a bit awkward.
Yeah. So it's little things, but it makes a difference.
That's what I was just going to say. I think like you're saying it in such a way that Aisha regards it to be, oh yeah,
light work, but no.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And not only is it important, but I think it's important for other people. Because you're putting this on saying, okay, what are our experiences? But for you to be able to give that nugget to explain what wedding DJs are, different.
Yeah, I hear that.
Payment. Booking. Thank God.
No, that's amazing.
Cool,
thank you for that question.
Thanks for having us.
No, it's been a pleasure, man.
That's good.
Much
appreciated. Great one. That's a great one.
We honor it. We appreciate it. Well.
Thank you very much for coming down, man.
Thank you, man.
No worries.
Yeah, man. So brides, if you have any questions or queries, and you want to give Aisha a shout, you can find her at
Aisha. So I'll send it
Go
to you.
for it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Aisha
it'll be there somewhere.
XOXO. On Instagram. And then also as well, my makeup page as well for any of you that want to do your makeup. Queen of Hearts as well on Instagram. And once again, I'll plug that somewhere.
Dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dope.
What are grooms, bro?
Huh?
What are grooms?
What about the grooms? What do you know, bro? Yeah, the grooms. The grooms, if you got any questions.
If you got any questions, run it through to me there. You understand?
Don't come to me.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Come on.
No, but yeah, thank you. Really cool.
I appreciate it, man. It's been amazing.
No
Yeah, for real. That's been another episode of Vendors Table. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Also on Insta and TikTok. So give us a follow. We're back next time for some more.
Cool. Bye.
Wow.
See ya.